Charlie Golf, Charlie Foxtrot, Whiskey, traffic no factor, climb maintain VFR 7,500.
Climb maintain 7,500, Charlie Foxtrot, Whiskey.
And with that, we started our first ocean crossing over to the Bahamas. It took months of preparation and a couple of days of some dicey VFR flying to get here, but the views were worth it, even if that big blue expanse of nothingness in front of us was a bit terrifying. Stay with us as I take you through the flight from Fort Pierce, over Bimini and Nassau, and over to Eleuthera Island.
Charlie Golf, Charlie Foxtrot Whiskey, turn left to the south off the departure end, wind 240 at 12, gust 17, runway 28 left, clear for takeoff.
Left turn up, clear for takeoff, runway 28 left, Charlie Foxtrot Whiskey.
Number 2062 Bravo, fortpierce Tower, roger, make straight in, runway...
Yep, those are more low clouds that delayed our departure yet again. I've been wanting to get my IFR rating for some time now, but this trip finally got me off my butt to start the training.
You're up!
Honestly, I'm getting really tired of having to hug the ground to stay below low clouds. Thankfully on this leg, the super low bank of clouds didn't last long, and I was able to climb to 1,700 feet pretty soon after takeoff. Still too low, but at least I didn't have to stay at 1,000 feet. Living and flying in Canada, not having air conditioning in the plane has never been an issue, but it's so hot in Florida and we were stuck at a low altitude for so long that we started roasting in the plane pretty quickly. Luckily, we'd visited Walmart the night before and bought some static cling sunshades to stick to the windows, and they helped immensely.
Charlie Golf, Charlie Fox Whiskey, radar contact 5 south of the Fort Pierce Airport. The veer altimeter is 2987 and say the altitude.
2987, I'm at 1,300.
Charlie Fox Whiskey, roger, maintain VFR, and what is the on-course heading?
I'm going to take 172 down to Palm Beach, and then I'm going to head to Bimini from there.
Okay, roger.
In planning the route to Eleuthera, I initially wanted to fly over Freeport on Grand Bahama Island, but the weather over Freeport wasn't looking good with a pretty good chance of thunderstorms in the area. So instead, we headed southeast over Bimini, on past Northandros to Nassau, and then east from there over to Eleuthera. That meant our longest leg over open water would be from Bimini to just north of the Andros Islands, a distance of about 75 nautical miles. At the speed that Oscar flies, at 7,500 altitude, that meant we'd be outside of gliding distance to land for about 20 minutes. Not terrible, but about 10 minutes longer than we would have been on the route through Freeport. And with my new engine only having about 100 hours on it since installation, I was keeping a pretty close eye on that engine monitor.
Charlie Golf, Charlie Foxtrot, Whiskey with the request.
Charlie Fox Whiskey, what is the request?
Are you able to modify my ATIS penetration time? We're a little bit delayed and going a bit further south. It's going to be later than I anticipated.
Before turning away from Florida toward the Bahamas, I needed to get down to the Fort Lauderdale area and then fly through the ATIS. But with our weather delay, we were significantly past what I'd indicated on my flight plan as our estimated ATIS penetration time. First, I tried asking ATC if they could change it for me.
I don't. That would be something you still want to flight service or whoever you call for those. You'll want to give them a shout.
Luckily, I was low enough to have a pretty decent cell signal, so I called up flight service.
Good morning. I'm currently on a VFR flight plan from Fort Pierce, Florida to the Bahamas. I need to modify my ATIS penetration time. Are you able to help me with that?
What I learned on that call is that they don't really care what time you're leaving the US, only what time you penetrate the ATIS when you're coming in. That was news to me, but hey, it makes things easier.
I want to get past those clouds, and then I think we're in the clear.
The gray one?
Oh, the white ones.
They're bad?
Oh, they're low, right? And they're fluffy. I don't like fluffy. Fluffy's bad.
But they're so cute.
Yeah, they look lovely.
Truly are a billion golf courses here.
Yep, it's what they do.
And so many of these homes have these enclosed pools and these...
Enclosed? What do you mean enclosed? Like
Just look
actually
like
covered?
in sunrooms, yeah.
Wow, I haven't noticed. Gonna be passing Boca Raton in about 5 minutes.
Where are we headed right now?
You're headed, so this is Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
We're headed here, so like 10 miles sort of northeast of it. And then we're gonna cut across past Bimini.
You guys there?
And
Yes, we
past like Grand Bahama Island.
quiet.
And then New Providence, which is Nassau. And we're gonna go over to North Eleuthera, down to Eleuthera. Alright, I think we can start to climb.
As we got closer to Fort Lauderdale, the clouds finally started to clear and rise up a bit, and we were able to begin the climb to our final crossing altitude of 7,500 feet. I'd never tried to climb so high in such hot weather before, and it took a lot longer than I'd expected, and a lot longer than my POH said it should. I need to be prepared for that in the future, not just in hot weather, but also when I try to fly over real mountains at some point for the first time.
Alright, here we go.
I would have liked to be a few thousand feet higher before turning out over the open water, but the clouds and all the complex airspace around Boca, Fort Lauderdale, and Miami prevented that.
Charlie Golf, Charlie Foxtrot Whiskey, just stay out or below 2,500 for now.
At below 2,500 for now.
So I had to settle for starting the ocean leg at just over 2,000 feet.
Charlie Golf, Charlie Foxtrot Whiskey, maintain VFR below 3,000 for now. Traffic 10 o'clock, 5 miles southbound is a Gulf Stream descending to 4,000.
At below 3,000 looking for traffic, Charlie Foxtrot Whiskey.
Charlie Golf, Charlie Foxtrot Whiskey, traffic no factor, climb maintain VFR 7,500.
I maintain 7,500, Charlie Foxtrot Whiskey.
The idea of flying across the open ocean is kind of terrifying, but when you're actually out there over the water, it doesn't really feel any different than flying over land. But if something goes wrong, you really do need to be prepared, and although I spent a ton of time prepping, one thing I hadn't done is gone for ditch training. There's a number of outfits in North America that offer ditch training in controlled environments, and I'm tempted to go do that before crossing open water again. That said, the crossing over to the Bahamas is absolutely beautiful, so I'm going to shut up for a bit and just let you enjoy the views.
Something's in the air. I can feel it everywhere. Every color seems to bloom, and there's light in every room. Now that you're looking up, I can see it in your eyes that lately it's been tough, but now the sun is rising.
Very beautiful.
Really is.
Starting to feel more like a holiday than...
Don't let me down, down, down. Don't let me down, down, down. I wanna be up, 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 so high. 'Cause I've been down, down, down. I've been down, so down, and now I'm done.
We're in the Bahamas.
Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. I'm aiming for the sky.
They might not be safe clouds, but they're very pretty.
They are very pretty.
So let's start listening. Let the rain wash away the tears that keeps crippling. Now that you're looking up, I can see it in your eyes that lately it's been tough, but now the sun is rising. And when you people
The waters of the Bahamas are spectacular. The blues and greens are like nothing I've ever seen, and there really are boats everywhere. So even if we had to ditch, probably wouldn't be too long before we were rescued.
I wanna be up, so high. 'Cause I've been down, down, down. I've been down, so down, and now I'm done. I'm aiming for the sky. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Aiming for the sky. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. I'm aiming for the sky. Now they're looking up. I can see it in your eyes that lately it's been tough.
We're here! Almost.
This is North Eleuthera, right?
That's North Eleuthera.
What's that?
That's part of North Eleuthera, so that's what you're looking at is Royal Island Spanish Wells. That's that fancy place where you can't take a car, it's only golf carts are walking around.
Oh, yeah.
Current Cut, which separates Current Island from the main island, is supposed to have some spectacular diving and snorkeling, but we didn't get a chance to check it out on this trip.
Oh, this is a heavily populated island.
Yep,
Which one's this? Is this Spanish
this
Wells?
is Spanish Harbor. Or Spanish
Spanish
Wells, I
Wells,
mean.
right?
Yeah.
Lately it's been tough. Now the sun is rising. And we're new people. Let's be new people. There's summer. Don't let me down.
Looks like you could walk out on the beach forever at low tide.
Yep.
Wow.
Norman Ski traffic at 54 6 7 mile modified base leg, ribbon landing 21 Norman Ski.
Harbor Island is where the rich and famous play. There are some gorgeous resorts and homes on the island, as well as a large beach made of that famous pink sand. It really is pink and it's soft as silk. The so-called Glass Mirror Bridge is a narrow 30-foot wide isthmus that separates the Atlantic Ocean from the Caribbean Sea. The difference in watercolor and conditions on the two sides is just incredible to see.
That it? That little bridge right there?
That's it. You could go down closer to it if you want. Yes, no?
Sure. Wow.
Governor's Harbor traffic, Beach 24 Golf Charlie Foxtrot Whiskey is 17 miles to the northwest of the field and 1,000 feet. Going to be coming in joining mid-left downwind for runway 15. Governor's Harbor traffic.
After a couple of orbits around the Glass Mirror Bridge, we headed south to land at Governor's Harbor Airport, which is the main airport on Eleuthera. For anyone coming to Eleuthera, you can clear customs at Governor's Harbor. You don't need to land at one of the larger airports first, like I'd initially thought.
Governor's Harbor, Charlie Golf Charlie Foxtrot Whiskey, turning final runway 15, full stop. That was not a good landing.
Yeah, it's the first one I videotaped.
I hope that roughness is just the runway and not a flat tire.
After 3 long, tiring, and exhilarating days of flying, we'd finally made it. Between low clouds, storms, and the ocean crossing, there was a ton I'd learned from the experience that although you can read about, you don't really appreciate until you've done it, and I am so glad that we decided to take this adventure on. For now, we tucked Oscar away for a week on the beautiful island of Eleuthera, and then unpacked our mountain of gear to take into the Customs and Immigration Office. The next video is going to be a little different. Instead of focusing on flying, I'll share some of the fun and fascinating sights and experiences we had on Eleuthera, and then after that, it'll be back to flying as we head southwest to Staniel Key and Great Exuma for the second week of our vacation. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the notifications so you don't miss the rest of the videos in this series. Thanks for watching, and until next time, fly safe.